Sorry?
Were there people within hockey ops or elsewhere in the organization that expressed misgivings about this signing leading up to it?
There was a lot of trepidation and hesitation, no question.
If you were a player on this team now, with today's Bruins, and this had happened in the time you played, you guys had to answer for something that you never had anything to do with. How would that have played with you if you'd been a player with what those guys went through in Toronto?
I probably would have been upset as well. You know, at the end of the day, as a player, you focus on playing. But, I probably would have been upset as well.
As far as the timing last week of signing him, was the urgency there just because there was pressure from you thought other teams were going to sign it? What was the timing for that signing to happen right then?
Well, from my perspective, there was no urgency and there was no pressure. I didn't care about other teams.
Cam, I think one of the family's problems is that there was continued mistreatment. But that information is really out there. So how?
So are you talking about continued from the time he was 14 on?
Before.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to get into specifics. We should have had a conversation with the family.
This is public knowledge. There's court documents, there's interviews.
Right.
How could that not have been processed by the organization?
Well, it was, but as I'm saying, from 14 to 20 is not the period between the time you're talking about and the information that's out there. He was a young kid that did a lot of bad things, said a lot of bad things. Like I said earlier, I believe in second chances, but maybe this is the wrong time to do it.
Is that because there's been so much backlash? I mean, would he still be a part of the team?
Pardon me?
Would he still be a part of the team if there wasn't so much backlash?
Well, we signed him, so I would assume we made a decision to sign the player.
Cam, do you feel duped at all by the player?
Pardon me?
Do you feel duped by the agent of the player? Because I've heard things and I've read things that there were some lies told him in terms of what he was doing to make himself better.
Yeah, it's best I not get into that.
Okay.
Cam, how extensive were conversations with the players beforehand, and then were there additional conversations after the signing and after some of the players talked and said?
I know Don spoke to a couple of the leaders on the team, and then after the Saturday morning, Don and I addressed the club.
What do you say to fans who feel betrayed by the situation? Obviously, there are fans who, are Black, African American, developmentally disabled. What do you say to them today? Even after you made the decision, it's work to go. What to do?
Well, again, I want to apologize on behalf of the Boston Bruins organization, on behalf of myself. It was a decision that we didn't take lightly, and I'll go back to the fact that I felt, based on everything that I knew, he deserved a second chance.
At the time he was engaging in the harassment, even though he was young, it would have been 2014, 2015 or so, there would have been enough societal knowledge about what he was doing was wrong. Has he sort of talked about that?
Yeah, in the meeting that we had, he talked at length about what he did and how he felt about it.
Could you clarify the timeline a little bit? Don on Friday said that you've been working on this as an organization for 6 months, almost a year. We understand that he was here fairly recently, within the last, say, month. Could you just lay it out when you first got on him as a prospect and when you brought him in, and how far back does that go, the time that you were researching him?
Well, I mean, it was brought to my attention in early August. I can't speak to before that right now. I haven't asked how long, before August. Don was in discussions with the agent. We said if we're going to do this, we want to make sure he's in the right programs. and understands the values that we have with diversity and inclusion. Met with our our community relations group, met with the foundation. So all those things were getting put in place for programs for him to get involved with.
Cam, how much concern is there just about, damage to the reputation and the brand of the Boston Bruins just based on what's happened in the last few days?
Well, obviously it's a concern. I mean, we like to take pride in what we do in the community and how we hold ourselves accountable, and we dropped the ball, and I'm here to apologize for that.
Is this your biggest regret, Kim, as an executive? You make bad trades or whatever, but it was
Absolutely. This has been, no question, by far.
Last question now.
Cam, given how well this team has started off this season, why did you feel it was necessary to sign him?
Why did I feel it was necessary to sign him? Well, timing of it was never probably going to be good. I think it got down to the point where we're doing it or not. And we made the wrong decision.